Shut Off That Noise is generously sponsored by Hollow Log Records and Smoke in the Water, both located at 2227 Dundas Street West in Toronto, and by Pomp and Circumstance Wedding Photography. So do you remember when I interviewed you last time? Through the entrance into Duggan's was through a laundry room, and there was a door that was open and closed across a floor that was uneven.
Right.
So it made this sort of wincing sort of noise. Hello and welcome to Shut Off That Noise. I'm Craig Riddock. Sorry folks, I've been away for 2 weeks, but I'm back from the realm of the unwell and just want to say thanks to all who lent me support through that difficult chapter. In this episode, we're going to focus on the group Countless Numbers, led by singer-songwriter Cary Parker, with Tristan Melandreras on bass and backing vocals, Lionel Doe on lead guitar and vocals, and Devin Janetta on drums. Countless Numbers are going to be playing at the Rivoli Bar and Cafe in Toronto this Wednesday, December 11th. They're opening up for London Stone. Things got rolling around 8 o'clock, and tickets will be $7 in advance and $10 at the door. Earlier this week, I caught up with bandleader and songwriter Cary Parker deep in the belly of the old Toronto Stock Exchange at the Design Exchange, my old place of work. And we found a quiet corner to sit down and catch up on things. But before we get to my interview, I'd like to get into some music. Countless Numbers have a few things on the go in the recording studio that we're not going to hear for another little while. But they did release another 4-song EP back in April. It's called Seconds, and I'm going to play you the lead track. So here is Countless Numbers and the song Twice as Hard.
Maybe it's a present or it's a past. Maybe it's a future that never lasts. Maybe if I pleaded and begged and barred, maybe love's a diamond but twice as hard. I don't know you, but I love you. I don't know you, but I love you. You said all you wanted to win the war was all I ever needed to feel secure. Maybe if I pleaded and begged and barred, maybe love's your medal but twice as hard. I don't know you, but I love you. Sometimes it's like I don't know you, but I love you. Said all you wanted fit in your cart, and all you ever needed fit in your heart. Maybe if I pleaded and begged and barred, maybe love's a bargain but twice as hard. I don't know you, but I love you. Sometimes it's like I don't know you, but I love you. Sometimes it's like I don't know you, yeah. Sometimes it's like I don't know you, yeah. Sometimes it's like I don't know you, yeah. Sometimes it's like I don't know you.
Twice as Hard is a song about love and about the dream of love and the promise of it, but the fact that it takes a lot of work. Maybe love's a diamond, but twice as hard. Well, it's not a diamond on your finger. It's not as easy as that. It takes a little bit of effort.
Hello, this is Craig Riddock. It's Shut Off That Noise, and I'm here at the Design Exchange with Cary Parker from Countless Numbers. This will be the second time we've had one. Cary, hello. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Thanks very much for having us. Me.
Well, it's
The one of me.
The one of you, yes. Well, last time the album was one, and it was a winner. So yeah, let's pick up where we left off. So Duggan's, that was a great show. Tell me about how that went. That was your CD release party for one.
Yeah, for the first EP, that's always a nervous show, for sure. We're showing off our new wares to some new audiences, and it was a packed house in that super cool little space they have at Duggan's. And then since then, yeah, we've been chugging forward, doing a little bit more recording. We put out earlier this year our second EP called Seconds, which we recorded with at Lincoln County Social Club.
So you're back there again at Lincoln County.
We were. That was
similar set of faces.
a similar set of faces. So for our first EP1, we had Jameson Elliott taking care of the engineering for us. He's the sound man for Whitehorse, and we were really lucky to have him and his ears to help us through that process. This time around, we recorded with John Dinsmore, who owns Lincoln County. And he was behind the boards, and he also handled the mix for us as well.
Nice. Okay, well, let's get back into some music. Cary's going to set this next one up. So the next song is called Texas. It's again from Countless Numbers. Current EP, Seconds.
Texas, I wrote on a sofa, as I write most of my songs, watching TV on mute, which sometimes happens as well. And I was watching the Weather Network. And the first line is "Stop touching Texas like that," where I was watching someone touching Texas in a different sort of way. But it also, within that, the lyrics of the song, and I'm an English major back in the day, so I'm a very word-focused, conscious guy. The chorus is where red line meets blue line, and I was watching the fronts rolling in, and where red line meets blue line, the storms happen. And in your body, in your heart's feeding out red blood and bringing in blue blood, so there's the tie-in there. Again, there is a challenge with, love ain't easy, man. Love ain't easy. Love ain't easy.
Nice.
Stop touching Texas like that. Stop touching Texas like that. Talking about the weather. Lost my way in Desolate Bay. Yeah, I lost my way and I just can't say I am better. Well, red line
So Tim, what do we got going here at Smoking the Water?
We got bongs, we got papers, we got grinders, we got lighters, we got pipes, we've got seeds, we've got CBD.
Now, CBD is a big thing right now. Even pet owners are coming in for the CBD stuff, right? Yes. Tell me about that.
Oh, it's just good whatever ails you. It's a cure-all.
Now, I've been doing the CBD oil on my knee, and I've been smoking these little CBD disposables here. How much do we got those for?
$15 for the disposable CBD pad.
Tell me about what we got going here at Hollow Log.
Tell you or the Goonie Birds listening to your snapshot or whatever. Well, I'm hoping that some of them have turntables because we have vinyl and lots of it. And all the different kinds of vinyl, including the stuff that hardly anyone sells anymore, like the bluegrass and the country and the folk and the Celtic and the kids section and all that stuff. And all the cool records that I don't want to talk about because I'm not cool.
Both Hollow Log Records and Smoke in the Water are located at 2227 Dundas Street West in Toronto. If you go down to the store, let them know that you are a Shut Off That Noise listener, and you can get a one-time offer of 10% off anything in both stores. Okay, well, let's get back to my interview with Cary Parker from Countless Numbers. Okay, so similar cast of people on this one. And again, a similar really punchy, stripped down rock sound. I've read some reviews where people have remarked that you've foregone like a lot of the sort of fashionable 21st century production and brought us back to that really great rocky sound of the 90s, like Goo Goo Dolls, and just people have compared you guys to sort of later Replacements and then Paul Westerberg stuff. Is that kind of stuff that you've listened to that kind of like is close to your heart?
It is. We've also recently heard, and this is always hard to sort of gauge a sound for my songs and for my band and sort of play it up against our influences, but recently I've heard Blue Rodeo meets Black Crowes, which I was also a fan of both of those bands as well.
Wow, I could...
Songwriting focused, a little bit of soul, as well as with our feet right in rock and roll. Like that is it, right? There's no funny business. We're not trying to do anything. We're not trying to reinvent music. We're not trying to come up with the next big pop song. I want to play rock and roll that's fun and interesting and lets people dig in a little bit.
I think that's a wise way to go. Like, I mean, do you think that we will always swing back to the basics?
I believe so. That is the roots. It is, the Beatles are the Beatles for a reason. They provided some foundation for a lot of our songwriting and a lot of our rock and roll. I think that we're embracing technology and we're there's a few doodads that make their way into some songs.
There's a synthesizer on one of the tracks.
There is, yep.
I wasn't expecting that.
For sure. I've got a little micro chord that I sometimes wheel out.
Yeah, I know. Well, you do play piano and other keyboards and stuff generally, right?
I do, and I play an acoustic. Sort of walk between both of those.
I thought that was a pretty tasty choice, and you blended it in there, and still it didn't turn into Welcome to the Machine.
That's exactly it, and it has the potential to move in that direction. Anytime I bring that microchord in, it can become the whole song and take over the recording, and that isn't at all the aesthetic that I'm going for, or we are as a band. It is, we're gonna have that foundation of rock and roll. We're gonna have bass, drums, and guitar, but if there's room for a little curiosity to throw in there, for sure.
It was a really nice texture, and I think you didn't lose the core of what you guys are, which has kind of got that jangly sort of guitar sound and everything. Now, are you always on an acoustic guitar, or do you sometimes bring in an electric there for you?
I'm always on an acoustic. I have the electric. It is ready to go, and which we'll start to see an appearance in the next year, in the next recording as well. I write my songs on acoustic.
Okay.
And I play them through a little Vox amp that has a little gain to it that crunches it up a little bit for our live performances and for our jams. I'm most comfortable hacking away on an acoustic. I find it a lot more forgiving to my playing. I also am just, again, I'm aware that my songs have a singer-songwriter sort of mentality, philosophy sort of behind them, and feel that there's an authenticity and a warmth that comes with playing them through an acoustic guitar that might not come through an electric that every other band, if you flip through the radio and you flip through your music collection, if people still have music collections they can flip through, there's a lot of electric, and I find that the acoustic again provides that nice anchor to where the songs begin.
I agree too. As a singer-songwriter, totally on the same page with you. I think that in the recording studio, the acoustic guitar adds a sort of sparkle and a jangle on top of things. But what I think you're talking about is what I call like being able to pass the campfire test. Like, you know, there's a lot of great music out there. Some of it requires electricity, and the singer-songwriter music has to withstand the campfire test. It has to be portable. It can't exist only with full orchestra and horn section.
Correct.
And so is that so when you demo the songs to the guys, do you just sit down and go, here it is, start to finish, I've got it on an acoustic guitar, and play them the campfire version?
I do, yes, and we're collaborative when it comes to the fleshing out of that song. But for the most part, I come to them with that song, lyrics and chord progression intact, on my acoustic, and say, all right guys, now what are we going to do with this? I'm thankful to be surrounded by a group of great musicians who appreciate the songs and the bare bones aspect of this music. Again, I'm not reinventing the wheel, but these guys love it and can dig into it like any other band I've ever played with.
That's great that
awesome.
it feels like everybody's really on board with your vision.
For sure.
When we talked 2 years ago or more, I asked you about your songwriting process, and you were telling me that the songs that you had on One, a lot of them had began on your sofa in college years.
Right.
So now this is 2 years later. Are some of these songs that we're hearing on Seconds also from that era, or have you been working those? Are they all fresh new stuff that you've written since the last EP?
A little mix of both. I guess of the tunes, Tarmac is an older song. Twice as Hard is a new song. Texas is a new song. Machine is also a new song, but it's a work in progress. Our next EP that we're going to be recording, we'll talk a little bit more about that, has a couple 20-year-old songs, but I'm constantly writing. It's what I do. It's what I've always done. I've been writing music for, 30 years. And I've got a catalog of songs that I've been waiting to present to a band and through a band, and I can't lose sight of those, but there's always new ideas and new songs that are coming up based on everyday experience.
Be sure and join us next Thursday on Shut Off That Noise, when our featured guest will be Elizabeth Pomeroy from O Stella, and we'll be featuring some of the songs from her current EP, Little Yes, Little No. Okay, and one last track from Countless Numbers. Cary will explain. It's called Tarmac.
Tarmac is one of those older songs of mine. This is a life and death song. It is, I like to sort of pinpoint or touch on love and death in many of my songs. I guess there's a reincarnation aspect to it as well. We've all lost people close to us that you want to keep in touch with, and if we walk through that chorus, there's a lot of talk about reliving your life once you die. You can't take things with you when you die. Live in the moment. You were gone before your comeback is sort of a hopeful look at where life can be, and hopefully we'll all come back with a little bit of a more positive vibe.
Cary, thank you so much for being on Shut Off That Noise, man.
Awesome, Craig. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Johnny died on the switchback. push stop, no push rewind, no. It's slow-mo in real time. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Real slow-mo on borrowed time. Leave your bags on the tarmac. Whoa, whoa, whoa. 'Cause you know you won't be back. Whoa, whoa, whoa. You were missing on your playback. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Now you're gone before you come back. Now you're gone before you come back. Now you're gone before you come back.
Well, here's something new for Shut Off That Noise. Next up, Patricia Blythe with the Weekend Arts Report, brought to you by Pomp and Circumstance Wedding Photographers.
Hi, I'm Pat Blythe with Shut Off That Noise Arts Report for Thursday, December 5th. In visual art, Laura Jane Patelko's photographic works are on exhibit from December 2nd to the 20th at the Orchard Lyceum at 969 Queen Street West. Citadel Dance Mix 2019 runs from December 4th to 7th for the second season triple bill featuring some of Toronto's most dynamic and daring choreographers. The Citadel is located at 304 Parliament Street. You can get information for tickets at citadelicie.com. At the Rep Theatres this weekend, you might want to try the Royal Cinema on College Street for your Friday night and check out White Christmas and Black Christmas at 7 p.m. Saturday night at the Review Cinema on Roncesvalles Ave, they've got Downton Abbey at 6:45 and Pain and Glory at 9:30. In theater and musicals this weekend, Bend It Like Beckham is at the St. Lawrence Centre for the Arts, December 7th to 24th. Ones, a multimedia presentation of the number one hits of the Beatles, is at the Meridian Centre, formerly the Sony Centre, for one night only, Saturday, December 7th. At Christmas Carol is at Young Centre for the Performing Arts, December 6th to the 24th. That's at 50 Tank House Lane. If you're looking for something to do with the kids on Saturday afternoon, Etobicoke Lakeshore Santa Claus Parade is on Saturday, December 7th, beginning at 10 a.m. and ending at noon. Cineplex Community Day. Enjoy a morning of festive fun and free movies on December 7th. This year, Cineplex is partnering with Warner Brothers Pictures Canada to offer a lineup of favorite holiday flicks for movie lovers of all ages. Guests can also enjoy popular concession items like popcorn, soft drinks, and select candy for just $2.50 each. All proceeds from donations and select concession sales goes to support Boys and Girls Clubs of Canada. Movies include The Polar Express, Elf, Gremlins, A Christmas Story, and National Lampoon's Christmas. Doors open at 9 a.m. and movies begin at 9:30. Go to Cineplex.com for more information. On Winter's Night, St. Andrew's Church, 73 Simcoe Street, December 8th. Prices are $10 to $25. Celebrate the holidays and sing along with 65 choristers of the Toronto Youth Choir and the Salvation Army North York Temple Band. In live music, Orville Peck is at the Danforth Music Hall Thursday, December 5th. Doors at 7 p.m. Rio Statics on Friday, December 6th. Doors for that show are at 6:30. Pioneers in the chamber music world, Ensemble Vivant are performing at Hughes Room Live Friday, December 6th. Show begins at 8 p.m. Also at Hughes Room, the great harmonica virtuoso Carlos Del Junco, and Saturday, December 7th at 8:30 p.m. Also on Saturday night, Battles is at Lee's Palace. Jeff Jones Trio is at Cherry Cola's December 10th for an early show at 8 p.m. And don't miss the Toronto Blues Society Christmas party at Alley Cat's Restaurant on Sunday from 4 p.m. to 7. Of particular note, on Monday, December 9th, the Unison Benevolent Fund is holding their annual Christmas Schmooze Fest at the Liberty Grand from 7 to 10 p.m. Tickets are $30. Unison Benevolent Fund is a non-profit registered charity that provides counseling and emergency relief services to the Canadian music community. Go to unisonfund.ca for more info. My big recommendation for the weekend is get out there and have fun. You can read my weekly music column at Don't Believe a Word I Say every Wednesday and catch up on local musicians performing in the GTA. This is Pat Blythe reporting for Shut Off That Noise.
Well, thank you, Patricia, for that fantastic rundown of awesome things we could be doing this weekend. Way better than any arts report that I've ever tried to do. So don't miss out on Orville Peck tonight at the Danforth Music Hall, and absolutely be sure to check out my guests' countless numbers at the Rivoli this coming Wednesday. I'd like to say a big thank you to Cary Parker for meeting me down at the Design Exchange and being my guest this week. That was a great little interview, and it was nice to catch up with him. So next time, I've got Liz Pomeroy from Ostella. I caught up with her as she passed through town a few weeks ago when she played the Painted Lady. So until next time, you've been listening to Shut Off That Noise. I'm Craig Riddock. Be well. Take care of yourselves. See you next time.